just drop the upside down and get the light in there. There's 3 positions in there, and you've got, if you look at the position A, which is 23 degrees, that's for 200s, and then you've got IT, which is for 150s and 125s. Just turn it around the right way again. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the nut, and I've got a gauge that gives you your 360 degrees. Stick it on there and see where our degree wheel takes us in, where we should be sparking. We can put the head back on and start her again. So we'll stick our washer in. Doesn't have to be rock solid tight. What we're going to do now is just turn over our cylinder, our piston up, so that's just gone past top dead. Top dead is there. Right, so that needs to just loosen up. It doesn't matter where we time it to, because there's no marks on this engine at all, but so if I do it about there, I'm looking to be sort of where that line is. Right, so if I turn the engine around again, it's easier to do this with a small extension because there's no compression there. What some people do is they put a paper clip. Alright, so it's going the wrong way, so we'll go round again. That's top dead centre. So I am bang in line with that mark on the top. Watch, I'm going to get a pen, put T on. So right on there is our top dead centre mark. So what we need to do now is get to 23 degrees before top dead centre. So that's going to have to go back down again and back up again. And what we're looking for, I can get my knees down on the ground again. Bring you round level again. Top dead centre's there. So if we come out straight, that's about 23 degrees. So we're looking at approximately there. Just see how close that is to where I've marked. Yep, just a tad higher than that. So that's our firing point there. Take off this wheel again. I'll show you another way of doing it. It's the easiest way of turning over the engine. Right, so say for instance that's top dead centre and your piston's being stopped there. When it goes around, so you rewind it and come back again, it should stop there again in the same position, because the bolt or the stopper's stopping the piston from going any further up. And what you do is you mark the two places where the piston stops and then halve it, and that's your top dead centre. A lot of people don't explain that properly, and basically what it is if I take this tool out, it's a longer version of that tool. So when the piston comes up, it stops it in the same place, forward and back. So before bottom dead centre, before top dead centre, you're basically stopping the piston and marking on one stroke there, or wherever it is, and then on the other stroke there. Then half that distance is top dead centre, because the piston can't go any further than that, which will be half of what the two of them are. That makes sense. So you know where that is, you can mark your top dead centre, then you can rotate your crankshaft around to 23 degrees in this case before, mark it up, stick it on, stick it all back together again, and bob's your auntie. You should with a strobe be able to see where you've marked on your casing, where it sparks basically every time in line with where it should be. Which is that mark there on mine. Right. When I've done this timing on here before, it's bang on. And if I can get the camera back down again, probably have to turn it upside down again. If you can actually see in there again, between 23, well, what I'm trying to say is between the two marks, which you should be able to see there, bang in the middle, is not a great distance. And if you look on the wheel itself, you can see that 23 degrees from top dead centre is not a far distance. So 18 and 23 are they're not massive distance apart. And you probably find that with modern fuels, I mean, a lot of people again, like your Lambrettas, they're going to 17 or 19 degrees depending on what you set it up for. So they've moved quite a lot around your firing point, basically, because of the fuels being so rubbish nowadays. They're taking into account that the fuels we're using are not with ethanol, etc., and that, to stop knocking and get more performance out of the engine. They're basically advancing the timing. The cylinder head itself, I'm going to put some silicone again around the outside. I've given it a wipe over, cleaned it out. It's not shining like new, but there's nothing wrong with that. You knew I did the piston on my previous video. We put the flywheel back on. I haven't torqued it up finally at the moment, but the piston's in, so all I've got to do now is get the cylinder head on and just check where we are with the timing. So I'm just going to put the camera back down again. Excuse me for jumping it around. I've also put some new batteries in my line. Right, get the rag in there, give it a wipe, and I'll show you the results in a second, what I'm trying to achieve. Generally you don't need any head gasket, etc., with a Vespa. It's just we are talking about, you know, up to 60 odd years of age now, some of these scooters, and they've been through the hands of a few people over them years. Right. So what I'm after is that basically. So I've got an instant gasket. I'll shift you over there again now while I put the head back. Get all these pipes out of the way again. Just gives a tad more room. Fiddly, but it does work. Right, if you remember, we've got flat washers first, which are here. We want a flat washer. We just bring that seat back down again. I've got visions of it crashing down on me. So one in there, one in there. Again, as I said before, stainless steel, best on the market in my opinion. And we've got a spring,